today we're going to talk about the new Microsoft 365 business and what it means for you and your customers. So we'll have a few slides in the front that we'll kind of race through, and then we'll take a look at the product itself in action. And I just want to remind everybody, I should have put that there, but Melissa can post our email box. If you do have questions, sometimes people are shy and don't want to ask them, at the actual event. We're available, pretty much any time. We can talk one-on-one, or if you have questions, if you want to respond by email. But our email is semsftbo@techdata.com, so we can post that here in the chat so everyone has that. And feel free to, again, if there's something you want to talk about in depth, whether it's related to what we're talking about today or Azure or virtualization or SQL Server. That's the things that I primarily work with. But anyways, let's go ahead and get this going. Sorry. So we've found that people on average spend 50% more time today in collaborative activities than 2 decades ago. You guys have probably noticed that also. 43% of the SMB owners that Microsoft surveys say that improving their workforce productivity is one of their top priorities. Teams need to be able to respond quickly to new information. Instant sharing, immediate feedback is the norm these days. And it's challenging how work gets done. It's becoming more collaborative in nature, and that's not just recently. That's been happening really over the last 4 or 5 years, but we're really starting to notice more of it now, especially with mobile devices and everything. But people are spending less time at their desk in one place. In fact, research that Microsoft's done has found that shows 37% of the workforce is mobile. So the opportunity lies in allowing employees to connect and stay productive, even when they aren't in the room together. And you guys have probably already been dealing with that, noticing that, And at the same time, something else I'm sure you're noticing is that cyber threats are becoming more of a reality each day. 43% of cyber attacks target small business, which is, again, what we're talking about today, a product that addresses this. This is disrupting for a lot of those people, and how they live and work, and how they acquire information and communicate with each other. So definitely with this product and others, we're trying to provide some peace of mind that your customer information and company data are safe and becoming more and more important to your business. Our goal is to help you and your teams work better together, be more productive with mobile solutions, and again, in a secure environment that you can focus your time on things that matter and not the complexity of the IT piece. So these are the core pieces of the product. Again, introducing you here to the what we call the Microsoft 365 business. It's a single platform and security solution designed, again, with you and your customers in mind. It's built to keep things simple, bring together the best that Microsoft has to offer. Security features and innovation of Windows 10, because you are getting Windows 10 upgrade with this. We can talk about that if you'd like in the question and answer piece. And the power of the Office 365, which you're probably already familiar with, and the best of what we call EMS. You may know that as Intune as far as the management tools go. So with Windows 10, most people are familiar with that by these days. And then Office 365 is going to give you those applications and tools to enable you to collaborate inside and out of your company and to make work on the go more productive and easier. And some of you may have already been taking advantage of that with other suites that we have, like the E-Suite, E3 Suite, or the Business Premium Suite. And I can show you a slide to show the differences between the Business Premium piece and this, so it kind of shows you what we're adding to this. So we're bringing the best of what I talked about was Intune to enable you to protect your data in your Office apps and mobile devices, and we're also part of that is the 80 Premium P1. So again, we built this specifically for end customers like yours, again, the small, medium business. It brings together the best features all in one solution, and we're doing all of this for basically $20 per user per month. Your cost per month may be a little less than that, I'm sure, but that's the kind of retail cost to the end customer. So really what we're trying to do is achieve more together, take your data anywhere it matters with always-on security that you can trust, and then make it all simple for your business is our goals. So when you look at it, it can be challenging, to connect if you don't have the right tools. Again, I'm sure you've noticed that with selling, collaboration, connectivity solutions, security solutions out there. It's not just among your own people, but it's also your customers and suppliers that you want to be able to connect with. And this product makes connecting easy with email, chat, and online meetings. And when you're on the go, you'll be able to stay connected and in sync with Outlook, SharePoint, and OneDrive for Business, the core Office 365 products. And we also have Skype for Business in there, so you have an instant chat to solve quick problems or easily jump into like a video meeting or work together as if you're in the same building, which is really nice. Hopefully some of you guys have used those core technologies and experienced that. But basically how we work together includes we can do both inside and away from the office. That's the key here. And we'll take a little closer look at the mobility piece. We discussed that more than 30% of the workforce is mobile, so we want to enable the people to be more productive anywhere on their favorite devices. That's a big thing here. Intune reaches out to those mobile devices. All your Office documents are kept up to date, accessible from anywhere, including your calendars, email, and contacts. Again, those are core features of like OneDrive and the Office 365 product. This makes it possible and easy for your teams to work from home, as we talked. And we have the secure cloud storage there with the OneDrive for Business product. When you find yourself in a situation where you need to work without the Internet, we also provide offline access with automatic syncing, things like that, of your work documents, giving you flexibility to keep working, even if you don't have Internet access. So that does come up from time to time, and we answer those types of questions all the time. I'm sure those are concerns you deal with too. So no matter where your people are working, we want to be able them to work together and make sure that you're secure, which is the next piece here. Traditional boundaries of IT, as everyone's noticed this, we talked about, is disappearing. We need to not only protect corporate-owned devices, but also the employee-owned devices. So everyone wants to use an iPad or an Android device or their phone these days, and we have to take those things into consideration. So the security you need is built in and working right behind the scenes, and that is the strength of this product. It definitely adds all those things and makes it very simple, as I'm going to kind of show you how to set up and get going with some basic security policies, things like that. So things like even if an employee leaves, this business product will allow you to remove the company information on demand while leaving their personal data untouched. Sorry about that. And the nice thing is the security travels with you to protect, again, those company-owned devices as well as those employee devices. The other thing to think about is the best thing is that your data is stored in the same secure data centers as as Microsoft's largest customers, our enterprise customers. This includes a lot of security, government, financial institutions, those types of things. Again, not so much again, but the nice thing about this product is we make it very easy to manage, and all your IT services are in one place, and maximize the work so you can focus. Again, a lot of our small business owners don't want to focus on IT. They want to focus on what their business is. So you don't have to deal with complex IT processes to get people set up, and this product simplifies the process so you can get everyone to work quickly when you jump on a technology like this. That's important. So we definitely streamline device and application management with this product, and I'll show you some of those things. You'll save time, and who doesn't want to save some of their time? Everybody would like to get some time back during the day. So when we roll it up, basically we're able to create a better way for you to bridge that gap between productivity software, the management of IT, and all of those devices that you have out there that are challenging to manage. There's kind of 4 things I really want you to take away before we kind of get into the demo here, is that we're going to give you, with this product specifically, going to give you what you and your employees need to work together more effectively. And we're going to give you a solution that allows you and your staff to be productive anywhere it matters and across pretty much any device platform. We're going to ensure that you've got always-on security, and we're going to give you all of that simply without burdening you with the worries of IT. So with that, let's take a look at it in action. So the first, I'm just going to stay on the slide here, and then I'll jump out in a minute. But the first thing that's going to happen is when you order this product, you'll get an email that looks pretty much like this, which you may be familiar with. This is a standard kind of form email we use with a lot of our cloud services here. But notice that it gives you where to log in, and we give you a username and a password, which you'll have to change the first time you log in. And once you do that, you're pretty much in the admin portal, portal.office.com. If you want to go there on your own, again, it's probably something you're familiar with. But something that you will notice, there are some different things in this portal. The new setup wizard that we've provided to guide you through that initial setup of the product, and you'll also notice some new items in the dashboard, like the device cards, which we'll take a look at here in a bit. But hopefully you see that kind of setup piece there. Again, pretty simple three-step process that we'll take a look at. The first step in the new setup wizard is getting your domain set up. You can use an existing domain or create a new one, and we'll facilitate it either way for you. Next, we add the users. It's a simple form. We can also add users to, so a lot of the things you're traditionally used to maybe with Office 365, you can definitely still use, but we do make this wizard to allow our customers to get going quickly without maybe not having to have any special knowledge to get it going. But we can, in a tabular form here, add our users to our 365 tenant. And next, we assign the licenses to the users that we just created. And then if we need to migrate email, we can go ahead and do that. Or again, we can do that in the traditional form like a BitTitan or any other third-party tools that you guys have gotten used to using, or the Microsoft tools to migrate email. And then basically, this is the data management piece. Hopefully that's going to be a little tough. I can show you these in the policies where you can go and change those later if you want. But basically we're deciding how we want files and protection on our mobile devices in this setup tab. And then the next screen, we're looking at the Windows 10 devices, and same similar kind of thing, how we want to handle company data, email, protection, things like that. And then we're done. Microsoft says you can get it going in 20 minutes or less, and I would definitely agree with that as long as you have all the information that the wizard's kind of asking. If you have to go gather things, it could be a little longer. But again, after you run through it once and you see what it wants, definitely you can get this product up and going in 20 minutes or less for certain. So with that, I'll jump out of here, and we'll take a look at the actual product itself. So again, when you log into the portal, you're going to get the traditional screen. You hit the admin tab. I already had it loaded up. It's okay. I loaded it again. So again, you won't see the setup screen after it's set up. This is my demo account that we created for this call. And I've already went through the setup of the users and things like that. So that's why I did the slides. But anyways, once we're set up, again, it's going to look very familiar to Office 365, like the Business Premium product. But as we talk, there are a few new pieces here, specifically like these device policies. We'll click into that. Take a look. These are loaded by default, so some of those choices that you were making in that setup wizard that we talked about. For example, we can take a look at the device policy for Windows 10. This changes the name. There's really no reason to change it unless you just want to call it something different, but we support that. And if you do want to make some specific edits after the fact, or you want to change things, you can come in here and actually look at those device policies. So things like antivirus, web threats, in the Edge browser, device screen idle, you can set that. Everything's just a radio button. It's easy to set. And keep, Windows Update Services, which is built in to the Intune technology. We can set some settings related to that. Go Go ahead and cancel out of that. And we can also say who we want it to apply to. So if we do have, a little bit bigger situation, we might have specific groups. We can apply these policies, to specific groups that are associated with the Azure Active Directory that you get with Office 365. We uncheck that, and we'll take a look at the same kind of policy for the Android. Again, I can change the name. I can go here and edit these policies. You got to get used to using these little carrots. If you haven't used them with Microsoft, they are all over the place these days, and you'll be like, "Where's the setting?" Like, oh, I got to click the carrot down. But anyways, like force users to save all their files to OneDrive. That's on. If we want to turn that off, we could simply just do that, and then we would turn off that policy, and we could save that. Encryption, things like that are built in. We can go back and take a look at that real quick. Again, we can turn that on or off, but probably a good thing to have it on these days. Again, some of these things, we make those choices for you in a default manner as security best practices. We can take a look at the same kind of thing for the Macintosh piece. So if we take a look at that, you can see similar things. Encrypt the files, save the work files to OneDrive, which is a smart thing. That way you keep everything in a central place. So that's pretty much the device policy piece. Again, the beauty of this product is you don't have to do anything. We do this all by default based on that setup wizard. Again, I'm just showing you kind of under the cover in case you want to make changes or you want to add additional things. You can actually even create your own policy by hitting the add piece here and adding your own policy if you want. So there's quite a bit that can be done in there. The next thing is device actions. You can see from the list here, deploy Windows with autopilot. That's a new thing, and it's specific to this product. We can pre-populate, like let's say we had 10 computers, we can pre-populate those into this product, and as the computers join the Azure Active Directory domain, it automatically rolls out Windows 10 to those machines, things like Office, applications, things like that. The other thing is the remove company data or the factory reset. We can go into here, for example. If we pick a machine, I have two PCs in here, we can factory reset or remove the company data from the machine. A factory reset is going to just take it back to its factory defaults, and then removing the data is just going to remove the actual files that are associated with the company on the device. And we can do that, again, I've got Windows 10 machines in here that can be done for Windows 10, obviously Android and the iOS products from Microsoft. And you don't have to do anything. Again, as the machines join, it populates this device list and sets those all up for you. We'll take a look at the Intune piece in a second. I did mention this already about the Windows 10 upgrade. So you will need a valid Windows 7 or above operating system in order to take advantage of that. It's not a full install. It's an upgrade piece. It could be used as a full install, but the licensing of it is going to require you to have an operating system on there already. And the nice thing about this is we can get information on it, actually install the upgrade, share the upgrade link if we want to through like an email, and send that out to the employees and let them do it. Or it can be automated, as we talked with the autopilot piece of that. And then there's other things that you're familiar with, I'm sure, if you've used Office 365, like installing Office, things like that. A lot of these other cards are the same as what you're used to. So that's the nice thing. Again, you can get set up. You can maybe make a few changes, and again, the machines can connect, and you're done. And that's very attractive from a IT user managing devices standpoint. Now, if you want to drill down a little bit, I may have to refresh this, but we'll take a look at it. Yep, it's going to make me re-authenticate. Let me just log back in here real quick. So manage.microsoft.com is the Intune management portal, the traditional one. I'm going to show you a different one in just a second. So this just takes a second to load here, and it should load the dashboard. So if you're not familiar with Intune, again, the nice thing about this product is you don't have to be, but if you want to, again, it's part of the product. So if you want to go to the Intune page, which I'm fairly familiar with, there's a lot that can be done in here. If you want to get more granular, again, the dashboard kind of rolls it all up so that you can see what's going on. So we have a couple alerts. Our health is good. We get some updates we need to approve, things like that. If you're familiar with this, this is going to look familiar, but if you're not, the Intune piece, we can look at our devices from here. And I've got 3 devices, a Surface and 2 desktops. Both of those are virtual. We can drill down into those and get some information about what they are, how much storage, memory, things like that. The other thing, notice that we can do some of the same things, retire, wipe, create groups of desktops, things like that from this tab also. The other thing also is the security piece. We can add specific updates, configure those updates, or, again, approve those updates from the screen. If we want to manage our protection, there's some things we can do from here, and we can get some reporting and statistics. We can get the reporting out of the other portal, too. I'm real familiar with this piece, so I kind of like this. If there's any alerts, again, this just bounces through what was on the dashboard. The other thing you can do in here, which most people are going to be interested in, we can actually deploy applications. In this case, I just used SolarWinds and created a package. It takes literally minutes to do. And then it will roll that out to our desktops. We can manage that deployment, decide what users groups specifically we want the update to go to, when we want it deployed, required, not for some, available. You have a lot of options here. So Intune's been around for quite a while, and it's a nice product. We can also look at our policies. It's easier to probably do them from the other screen, but that's available in here too. And then again, some reporting that we talked about. So you can see there's lots of different types of reports. We can actually even get software inventories, things like that, from the devices. So the next thing I wanted to show was the new way to manage Intune. So we can do this through Azure. So almost everything we're doing. So eventually that Intune management site will be depreciated. No dates on that, and then we'll be using the Azure dashboard. So there's nothing extra cost, and for most of what I'm about ready to show you. If you turn on some special things, then it would be some Azure charges, but by default there's no charges, and you get an account. You can come in here and see the same types of things. We've got our device compliance, so we've got 2 that's compliant. I'm looking pretty good. Don't have anything that's not compliant, but I have a small environment. We can choose how devices get enrolled. Again, the different platforms, you just drill down in there and choose how you want the device to be able to connect. Settings, we can look at the devices themselves. Go ahead and hit that. Look at all the devices, so we can keep drilling down. So if I drill down into this specific device, we can see its name, the operating system, last time it checked in. There's a slight agent, like a small agent that gets installed on the actual devices. We can look at the properties of the devices, things like monitor the hardware piece. We can scroll through that, see what's going on with that. This is the application piece that I talked about, discovering the applications that are actually on this specific virtual machine. It's pretty nice. The compliance piece. There's nothing in there right now because we're good. And then the device policy, whether it was successful or not. So that's pretty neat. The last thing, there's 2 other things I want to show you. The other thing you can do from out of the management portal, we can look at the admin centers. If I can get it to work. There it goes. I'm more the Azure guy, so I don't come in here every day. But anyways, the Azure AD piece, same type of thing. A lot of folks don't realize it. I'm sure you do if you've dealt with Office 365, that you get Azure Active Directory when you buy Office 365, and there's no difference in this specific product. So we can do some things in here now out of Azure to manage the Azure Active Directory instead of using the older classic portal, which is fine, but the new portal is much cooler, and there's nice things I can do related to users and groups. And a lot of our 365 customers never expose themselves to this kind of thing, but as everything becomes more integrated and hybrid related to Azure and on-site, and also Office 365, this is something you definitely want to get familiar with, is the way to say that, I guess. because it becomes important to be able to go in here and look at the users type of thing. It makes it a lot easier on you. Notice I've got the initial admin account that was set up when I set up the account, and then I've got myself that I added. So that's pretty much it for the demo standpoint. The only other thing I wanted to show is the difference. This is just Microsoft.com, the medium business, or it was initially called medium business. So sorry, just 365 business product that we're talking about. And you notice there's a lot of the same between it and the business premium product, which you may be very familiar with. And then we start getting down into the device management piece. Notice we start seeing the differences here. So the business product, which is a little more money, we get the console that I showed you to manage the devices, the autopilot piece, the auto deploy of the Office apps. So really the Intune piece is what's driving that, and then the security piece of the EMS plus security piece and the Azure ADP one and all those features that come along with that to protect data across the devices like we talked, secure documents. Windows 10 factors into that, obviously. And again, like the other one, it's maximum users of up to 300. The only other thing I will show, I don't know if there's any interest in that, but out of the billing section, when you look at your subscription, it will say Microsoft 365 Business, that type of thing. So, and if you manage your people and the licenses, go to the users real quick, you'll notice, let me manage this person, just to show you some of the things related to the license here that you can see. So just call out a few things here. But you're seeing all the different products, that can be turned on or off related to this product. Outlook Customer Manager, which is a new feature, which is also in Business Premium. It's a pretty exciting little product that people are interested in. And notice here we have the Windows 10 Business and the Intune piece. So that's really all I had. Thank you guys for attending. And